Even though Steph and Wiggins were out, it was a highly anticipated Christmas rematch of the West Semifinals last year between Memphis and Golden State, a game where Jordan Poole led the way to a convincing win over the trash-talking Grizzlies. I wanted to break down how he countered against the Grizzlies' aggressive denial defense, so let's get to it. Poole came out firing, and here on the strong side we have a pistol action in which Dre sets a pin down for JP, and you can see Dillon Brooks top blocking him all night to try and force him the back cut. He fakes a backdoor and comes up on the wing towards a strong right hand to try and get the dribble handoff from Looney, but credit to Brooks' aggressive denial defense to force the ball away from him and for JP to keep backdooring. In the read and react offense of Golden State, Looney then swings at the Draymond, and the counter to this type of denial defense is to pretend to backdoor since the defender is usually trailing the offensive player. Poole immediately uses the re-screen by Looney, losing Brooks in the meantime, who tries to cheat this pick, and he gets an open look from downtown. In a similar action, we see Steph use all the time in the semi-transition when there are two bigs running along the ball handler is to try and set drag screens. Both Draymond and Looney set two drag screens for Jordan Poole to go right, knowing the Grizzlies are not switching these on-ball screens, and you have the last man Looney's defender in Steven Adams in the drop position since he's a center. Poole reads his coverage correctly and gets a nice open look and pulls from 26 feet with a soft contest from behind by the trailing Dillon Brooks. Memphis played super aggressive defense on the one main ball handler in Jordan Poole by deploying a rough and larger guard in Dillon Brooks to try and play high up and stay in denial position. The goal is to break the Dubs' offensive rhythm that involves a lot of dribble handoffs and force them away from the three-point line and try to go towards the rim. You can see a lot of teams playing high up, and Golden State's counter is to always involve a big in off-ball screens, since like I mentioned, denying the ball usually leads to a defender trailing the player. DiVincenzo can't find anything here, but look at Brooks' denial position. Finds Looney, who immediately makes a handoff screen against a trailing Brooks, giving Poole a wide open catch and shoot long two-pointer. This is again great offense to counter and aggressive defensive coverage. In the second half and again on the semi-fast break, Draymond is running on the left side, and you can see Dillon Brooks playing deny with his back to Draymond, and even makes an effort to steal the ball. This time, Jordan Poole gets a couple steps ahead of this reach-in and back cuts, allowing Green to feed him for an open but relatively tough runner going to his left. Now that he's on ball, the one strategy the Warriors use on slower bigs is always high pick and roll. Looney isn't in the picture yet, but Draymond sets a high screen knowing the Grizzlies are not switching and rather fighting over the screen. JP forces a slower Steven Adams to try and play high up on the perimeter even though he's in rather drop position. Jordan Poole makes a sweet snake dribble around the pick to get open and pulls up from 18 feet with a foul from behind. Here's another similar on-ball action before he was finally ejected for the game. James Wiseman gets a drag screen off a missed shot by Memphis, and they continue to have the big man and Clark play drop while the guard fights over the pick to try and recover. Poole plays the momentum towards the sideline here, and he shot fakes to get Conchar the bite, then leans in for an open floater. There you guys have it. I wanted to highlight how Memphis deployed a very aggressive denial defense, knowing that Jordan Poole was the Warriors' main ball handler for the night. Their goal was to try and disrupt the off-ball and handoff actions along the perimeter and force the guard to make a play in the paint. But Golden State's big men played a big role in countering this and getting him open shots, especially against the primary defender in Dillon Brooks. The Grizzlies knew the Dubs are the biggest threat from beyond the arc, so they fought over screens and played high up, but credit to Poole to find a way to get off open shots despite being shorthanded in this highly anticipated Christmas rematch. Very solid, convincing win in my opinion on their home court, and shout out to the young guys as well for playing a big role. If you guys like this breakdown, like and subscribe to see more.